Let's be honest, finding the money to build something big is the hardest part of the game. You could have the best idea in the world, a stunning hotel in the Caribbean, a much-needed regional airport, or a 5-star resort that will create hundreds of jobs. But if you can't get the financing, it's just a dream on a piece of paper. Most developers and investors, especially those who are new or prefer a hands-off approach, run into the same brick wall: the banks. Traditional lenders want you to put down a ton of your own cash and sign your life away with personal guarantees. It's a high-stakes bet that keeps a lot of great people on the sidelines. The traditional path is a nightmare of paperwork, endless meetings, and a constant fear of rejection. Banks are notoriously risk-averse, especially when it comes to large-scale construction. They'll ask you for 10 to 20% of the total project cost upfront. For a $50 million project, that's a staggering $5 million to $10 million out of your pocket before a single shovel hits the dirt. And even if you have that kind of cash, they'll still want you to personally guarantee the entire loan. If the project hits a snag, they can come after your personal assets, your home, your savings, everything. It's a model designed to protect the bank, not to help you succeed. That's why so many fantastic, economy-boosting projects never get off the ground. Think about the positive impact a new resort or marina could have on a local community, creating jobs, boosting tourism, and generating long-term economic growth. These are what we call humanitarian projects because they do more than just make money, they uplift entire regions. But the old way of financing simply doesn't support this kind of visionary development. It's a system that favors established giants and shuts out passionate entrepreneurs and smart investors who want to make a real difference while also securing their financial future. But what if there was another way? What if you could get 100% of the financing you need without begging the banks and without putting your personal wealth on the line? It sounds too good to be true, but it's not. There's a financing structure designed specifically for these kinds of large-scale, impactful projects. It's a game changer for anyone who has ever dreamed big, but felt held back by the traditional financial gatekeepers. This approach transforms the lender from a simple creditor into a true partner, one who is just as invested in the project's success as you are. So, what is this magic solution? It's called non-recourse 100% construction development JV financing. That's a mouthful, so let's break it down into simple terms. 100% financing means exactly what it says. The program covers the entire cost of your project. If your hotel build is budgeted at $50 million, you get $50 million. You don't have to scramble to find millions for a down payment. This immediately opens the door for so many more qualified developers and investors who have a solid plan but not an endless pit of cash to pour into it before the project even begins. The second part, non-recourse, is the real secret sauce. In the world of finance, recourse means the lender can come after your personal assets if the loan defaults. A non-recourse loan is the opposite. The project itself is the only collateral. If for some reason the project fails, the lender can only claim the project assets, the land, the building, and so on. They cannot touch your personal bank accounts, your home, or any other assets you own. This removes the terrifying personal risk that comes with traditional bank loans and lets you sleep at night, knowing your personal financial security is protected. This unique financing model is structured as a joint venture, or JV. This means the lender isn't just a bank handing you money, they become your primary partner in the project. They take a 40% equity stake, which means their success is directly tied to your success. They have every reason to see the project through to completion and profitability. This partnership approach is perfect for build and hold humanitarian projects like top brand hotels, think Hilton or Marriott, ski resorts, high-end marinas, or regional airports in prime locations like the Alps or the Caribbean. These are the kinds of developments that create lasting value and stimulate local economies. The process is designed to be transparent and secure. To get started, you need to show you're a serious player by providing a standard project package, a business plan, financial projections, and a construction budget. You'll also need to show proof of funds of $700,000. To activate the financing, you deposit $650,000 into a 100% insured attorney's escrow account managed by a top-tier European law firm. This deposit is your skin in the game, but unlike a bank's down payment, it's fully protected, and as you'll see, it's returned to you. There are no sneaky upfront underwriting or pre-approval fees either. Your role in this partnership is straightforward. You bring the vision and the project plan. Once your project is deemed eligible, your first major step is to place a refundable deposit of $650,000 into a secure escrow account. I know what you're thinking. That's still a lot of money. But let's put it in perspective. On a $50 million project, this is just 1.3% of the total cost. A bank would demand $5 to $10 million. This deposit isn't a fee. It's a commitment that demonstrates your seriousness, and it's held safely by a highly reputable law firm like Wolf Thies, where it's 100% insured by law. Your money is safe. Here's the best part. That $650,000 deposit is returned to you in full 1 year after the project's initial funding date. Let that sink in. You get your initial capital back while retaining your ownership stake in a massive cash-flowing asset. In exchange for bringing the project and making this refundable deposit, you are given a massive reward, a 30% equity stake in the entire project. This includes 30% of the property's value and 30% of its cash flow, free and clear. You essentially secure a multi-million-dollar ownership position in a landmark property, and you get your seed money back. So how does the rest of the equity get divided? It's a true partnership. The lender, who is providing 100% of the funds and taking on the primary risk, retains a 40% equity stake as the main JV partner. You, the investor or developer who brought the deal to the table, receive 30%. The remaining 30% is allocated to other secondary partners who play a role in the deal's structure and success. This balanced distribution ensures everyone is motivated and aligned toward the same goal, building a successful, profitable, and long-lasting commercial asset. Once your deposit is in escrow and the paperwork is finalized, the funding process begins. About 75 days after the lawyers and bankers are set, the money starts flowing. For a $50 million project, funds are dispersed in 16 equal monthly payments of over $3 million. This steady, predictable flow of capital ensures that construction can proceed without delays. A world-class firm like PricewaterhouseCoopers, or PwC, is brought in to manage fund control, overseeing every payment to ensure the money is spent exactly as planned. This provides an incredible layer of security and professional oversight for everyone involved. When you line this opportunity up against a traditional bank loan, it's not even a fair fight. With a bank, you're a borrower. In this model, you're a partner. Banks demand a huge chunk of your own capital upfront, money you may never see again. This program requires a small, fully refundable deposit. Banks load you up with personal guarantees that put your entire net worth at risk. This program is non-recourse, shielding your personal assets completely. The differences are night and day, and they are all in your favor as the investor or developer. Think about the long-term game. After the project is built and stabilized, usually about 2 years after opening, you have options. The primary strategy is to hold the asset for long-term cash flow and appreciation. You'll be a 30% owner of a thriving business like a Marriott hotel or a luxury resort, collecting passive income for years to come. Alternatively, you can choose to refinance the property and pull out cash, or you can even request to be bought out of your equity stake at its current market value upon completion. The power and flexibility are in your hands. This JV financing model is fundamentally about shared success. The lender takes a 40% stake because they are confident in the projects they choose and in their ability to see them through. They pay for all the associated costs, from legal fees to create the ownership entity, usually a Wyoming LLC for its asset protection benefits, to covering the loan's debt service during the entire construction phase. They are putting their money where their mouth is, acting as a true partner who's committed to getting the project across the finish line, unlike a bank that might sell off your loan to the highest bidder. Ultimately, this is your chance to gain a significant, free, and clear ownership stake in a premier, multi-million-dollar commercial property without the immense risk and capital outlay typically required. For a refundable $650,000, you get 30% equity in a $50 million plus asset, with your capital returned. It's an unprecedented opportunity for passive investors and developers to participate in large-scale humanitarian projects that not only generate substantial returns, but also make a positive impact on the world. If you have a great project, this is the smartest, safest, and most powerful way to bring it to life. I suggest you learn more and see if your project qualifies.